What's up? I am back with another reaction video from real house flippers that are on TV. And you guys loved it so much on the last ones that you asked for more. So if you have a clip that you want me to react to, drop the clip in the episode in the comments and we'll actually react to your episode. And maybe it's something specific from that episode that you're like, is this real or not real? And you'll see a real house flipper react to TV house flippers.
All right, Bill. So this clip is from Rehab Addict. In this episode, we follow Nicole Curtis as she gives us a walkthrough of an older property that she's purchased. She previously had a few tips for her audience as to what she thinks is going to be beneficial for them, and has a conversation with her investor towards the end.
Let's check it out. Ready to go? Let's do it. Okay.
This house is in South Minneapolis, and South Minneapolis is a very popular neighborhood. This section's seen its ups and downs. We're back on the up. This house was a foreclosure. It was ugly, but it was cheap. The values of the homes around here are $300 on up, and I got in at this house at $156,000. I literally just closed on this house today.
The first thing that I'm going to mention here is she mentioned the sale price of these houses in the neighborhood are $300,000 plus. She bought the house for $156K. So just on the surface, I would say a lot of people are like, wow, that's an amazing deal. Like she's gonna make a ton of money on this. There's $140,000 to $150,000 built in of equity, right? When we have to force appreciation, we have to add a lot of equity to the property by doing work, fixing it up or doing something. So it may or may not be a good deal. Like I'm excited to see, but just because you bought it for half of what you could probably sell it for doesn't always mean it's a good deal. I've lost money on houses like that before in the past. So let's see what she says.
So I'm coming over just to walk through it. I always want to be in the house as soon as I close just to get a feeling of what I'm going into. I absolutely love that the original door is still here. We know hardwood floors are throughout this entire house. I'll rip this out and it's gonna be gorgeous. I'm so excited about this floor in here. It's gonna make such a difference. They still have the original radiators in this house. This buffet, for this to be found in here too, is just a fantastic find for me. I love this house because it's still got good bones to it. 1908 Victorian. Doing some demo, ripping some things out and adding a little bit of character and charm back into it, it'll shine again.
Just watching the very beginning of this house actually doesn't look like it's in total disrepair. On the surface, I'd say she's got a smoking deal here, like potentially a six-figure profit, and kind of shocked that she got a foreclosure at this price. So I don't know what year this was shot, but these deals are few and far between, but I'm interested to see the rehab costs. So you can see older houses. So older houses always have a lot more problems, right, or some historical significance that have to happen. So one thing to watch out for older homes is if you're in an area when the municipalities are requiring their tagged historic, you actually have to go through a permitting process and more difficult challenges to renovate that house. You might actually have to keep some things that you want to get rid of because the neighborhoods are historic neighborhoods to keep their significance. So one thing to think about, especially when I saw like early 1900s house, this Victorian house, could be an issue. Only 1,800 square feet. If it's got real good hardwoods, all original things, I'm interested to see what she does.
I got it for $156, and I'm looking at doing about $70,000 worth of work to it.
Not the steal of the century, but not a bad deal because I look at the upside on this to be around 300 plus. It's gonna be a charming house. It's gonna be one of a kind Victorian like it was built to be. I can move! It's so exciting!
So let's talk about the amount of work and the kind of structure of the numbers. Like what you saw on here was the purchase price plus the rehab, but $70,000 of work for an 1,800 square foot house, it's about $40 a square foot, which is, depending on what they're gonna do, is kind of a lot. Like if it was me, I would probably want to be going at around $30 a foot. I don't know Minneapolis, but it should be around the same price point as typical like Pensacola homes that I was doing, Nashville houses, stuff like that. So let's see what she does. And I know that she's got like tips and tricks along the way, and I'll kind of like add my take on that.
Ew, yuck, ew, ew, yuck, ew. Should we try getting started?
Okay, so the first one that she put on here, Nicole's tips: never throw away old fixtures, sell them online or at a salvage yard. So, okay, here's my take on that. I think it is a horrible idea. Nicole, I'm sure that you want to spend time like doing those kind of things, or hopefully have a system or a process for that. But I'm a business operator. I'm somebody who I want to scale this. I want to do this at scale. I don't want to have a garage sale. I don't want to be selling things online for 50 bucks or 100 bucks. I want to make hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars. I value my time a ton, and all the people that are going to say, is this item still available? Is this still available? Is this still available? Is this still available on Facebook Marketplace for a $50 or $100 sink or faucet or countertop? Like, it's not worth it to me. Now, donating it to a place or having a place come, like Habitat for Humanity, some of these kind of places, there's restores, there's places like that where you can drop them off. And if you could drop them off in bulk and a contractor is doing that, that's fine. But I wouldn't take your time as the business owner. I would focus on finding the next deal, raising more capital, getting better contractors, and building out systems and processes instead of doing a lot of the work yourself like this.
Track out? Yeah.
I'm guessing this is not the main bath of the house.
No, this is.
And something else to that. Because as I think about it, it just frustrates me a little bit more and more and more. Let's just say you sold that sink for $50 and you did it online, or just if you calculated how many hours it took for you to remove the sink, tell the contractor that and slow them down, don't break it, and then put it in my car, and then you drive it home, and then you clean it up, and then you take pictures, and then you list it online, and then 50 people send you messages, and then somebody comes and looks at it. They say, oh, I don't want it. Then somebody else comes and look at it. All the time that you spent between canceling appointments, running around to get this thing done, for $50, you probably spent 10 hours. You're making $5 an hour doing that. Don't do that. Just focus on doing more deals, doing bigger deals, and making a lot more money, and make your dollar per hour go way up.
This is.
Yes.
This is.
Yes.
Wow, this is
Yeah.
illegal. If this is the main bath of the house, this is the main vent. We'd have to have a 3-inch pipe going out the roof.
That's like grandfathered in though, isn't it? No?
Okay, so one thing she just mentioned is being grandfathered in. A lot of time in these older houses, you'll rip things apart, and you have two options at that point. You either need to bring it up to current code, or you can be grandfathered in on the old code. So for early 1900s, there's a lot of things they didn't have to do that you have to do now in a new construction house or a renovation project. So the thing to be careful of is when you start ripping things out, you might be grandfathered in, but you might also have to spend a lot of money to bring it up to current code. So it's interesting. We'll see what happens with this, but I can already tell the plumber's setting her up for a really big bill.
This is always the hardest part.
Lab waste.
Yep.
It kind of looked like they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
To a degree.
Yeah. They had the concept anyway.
I'm waiting for Sam, my investor, to get here.
So her next tip was make friends with local inspectors. When I was there on site in the very beginning, the inspectors in Santa Rosa County knew me very well. I was there on site. I was working with the plumbing guys, working with the electrical guys. I would ask them, hey, what do I need to do here? What's next? And they would just help me.
Waiting for Sam, my investor, to get here and take a look at the bathroom. If he doesn't want to give me the money, I'm basically out of business. So, I mean, my idea here was, I ripped.
So I think the last comment, if he's not going to give me the money, I'm basically out of business. That's made for TV stuff. It's just not true. Like, if there's a little bit of scope creep, there's a little bit of work done. Like, a lot of times as flippers, if I have a lender who's financing the project and financing the rehab costs, and then I'm going over budget on the rehab costs, I'm never really reaching out to my investor. It's coming from my business. It's coming from me. It's coming from my skin in the game on that project. So if your investor is controlling all the deal and all the flow of cash, you could be getting in trouble. So I think that was a little bit of made for TV, like drama. If he doesn't fund it, she can find another person to come in. You could always find somebody else to put a second position mortgage on it, or to do a bridge funding, to do a bridge loan, a short gap funding of $5,000 or $10,000 to get you through the project.
I ripped out all the ugliness. I put in this tile so it looks original. When you walk in here, I know you can't see the whole house experience, but this is how the rest of the house is gonna look. This is very indicative of what I do. And what do you think, Sam? You on board?
It's 40 grand, we can turn around in 60 days so I can make money on it. Let's do it. I think she knows what she's doing, and I'm quite impressed with what she did, and I think we can actually turn this house around and sell it, and I can make a profit.
When I started, I had this god-awful Star Trek.
Okay, so it sounds like he's coming in and adding another $40,000 on top of the $70K budget. I'm kind of confused a little bit about who this guy is, if he's her original investor or he's somebody who's going to come in on a bridge and gap like I was talking about. However, either way, it sounds like they're adding another $40K into the budget, which is a lot. So I'm not exactly sure what happens. This is kind of TV making its own way and not showing you the full story. But to me, now she's buying the house for $156K and then she's in the rehab for $110K, which could be a problem when we start running the exit numbers.
Bathroom. with a shower, an oak vanity, laminate counters, and now at least I have this original turn-of-the-century fantastic bathroom. I got hexagon tile on the floor, I got subway tile surrounding the tub, I have this great vanity. Now I have this bathroom that's completely becoming of a $300,000 house. If I can take this design and apply it to the rest of the house, this thing is definitely gonna sell.
What I hope you could see there at the end is she didn't do like a massive transformation in that house. You're not out of business if your original investor won't finance the project. There's money everywhere. There's the availability to raise money. If you got a good deal like this, money's gonna come. You can see that guy walked in and said, she knows what she's doing. That's the thing. They got to see your vision. They got to understand your confidence, your leadership, the fact that you can run that project, that you can make a profit. Confidence and trust is what they're looking for when they invest money with you. And then a few other things with the numbers and the kind of plumbing and grandfathered in. There's a couple things in here, but overall, I think this is it's probably pretty realistic. I didn't see the final numbers, but if she is in it for 110, bought it for 156, she's not making a lot of money on this project. I am really enjoying doing these. This is really fun. It's taking me back to when I used to watch these shows all the time. And if you guys like this and there's a show that you want me to comment on or something that you saw that you're like, is this real or not real? Just drop it in the comments and let me know. And let me know if you guys are enjoying this or you want me to do one.